baby, someone else tried to take your place. I didn't expect it. It started small, an innocent conversation, a simple laugh, just passing time. Nothing serious, nothing deep. At first, you and I were going through one of those quiet phases, not fighting, not broken, just texts were shorter, calls felt rushed. Our "I miss you" started sounding more like habit than heart, and I didn't know how to bring it up, didn't want to add more weight. So I kept it to myself, thinking we'd bounce back like we always did. Then this other person came along. Not in a way that made me feel tempted, but in a way that made me feel seen again. They noticed little things. They asked questions. They laughed at my dumb jokes. They were present. And for a second I wondered, is this what I've been missing? Not love, not you, but the feeling of being noticed without asking for it. It scared me, because that moment made me realize how empty I'd been feeling without you. How lonely it is to love someone who's drifting away silently. But here's the thing, baby. Even with all that, even with someone new standing right in front of me, I didn't move. I didn't lean in. I didn't open the door. Because no one else gets to take your place. Even when we're off. Even when we're quiet. Even when it feels like we're miles apart. I still choose you. But I need to tell you what happened. Not to make you jealous. Not to make you feel guilty. But because this moment showed me how fragile distance can make things feel. And how easily someone can slip in. Not because they're better, but because you stopped showing up. It happened so quietly, I didn't even realize it at first. It started with them asking how I was doing. Like really asking. Not the quick "you good" people throw around, but the kind that waits for a real answer. And I won't lie to you, that question hit different. Because lately I hadn't been okay. But I'd gotten used to keeping that part of me hidden. Especially from you. Because every time I tried to open up, you seemed busy, distracted, tired. So I stopped trying. Not because I didn't trust you, but because I didn't want to feel like a burden. And that's where the problem began.
Not with them.
With the space you stopped filling. They didn't do anything wrong. They didn't try to cross any lines. They just showed up. In a moment where I needed someone to, and for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. But do you know what stopped me? Do you know what kept me from even thinking of letting them get closer? You. Your laugh, your voice in the morning. The way you used to send voice notes just to say, "I miss you." The memories we built. The nights we stayed up talking about our future. The promises we made even when life got loud. I remembered why I chose you in the first place. And I realized someone else noticing me wasn't what I needed. I needed you to come back to us. Back to the connection we lost while pretending everything was fine. So I'm telling you this not to scare you, but to remind you. Distance creates cracks, and if we don't talk about them, someone else will walk right in. I've been thinking about us, not just who we are now, but who we were before the silence, before the slow replies, before the love started feeling like a routine instead of a rhythm. And I realized something I hadn't wanted to admit. We stopped choosing each other. Not fully, not daily. We got comfortable. We assumed the other one would always be there. So we stopped showing up in the little ways. The "how was your day" for real. The forehead kisses after long hours. The soft checking in, even when nothing seemed wrong. And in that space where attention faded, they stepped in. Not with a grand gesture, not with anything romantic, but with consistency. They noticed the way I paused mid-sentence. They heard the hesitation in my voice and asked why. They made me feel like what I said actually mattered. But you know what they couldn't do? they couldn't make me forget you. Because when I looked at them, I didn't feel the pull. I felt the reminder of what we used to be and what we could still be if we both stopped pretending we're fine. Baby, I don't need someone else. I need you, the real you. The one who used to sit up with me just to hear how my heart was doing. The one who used to fight for our connection, not avoid it. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Because if we don't talk now, if we don't fix this now, someone else might not just try to take your place. They might actually succeed. And I don't want that. Not ever. I keep thinking back to one moment in particular. It wasn't anything huge, just a regular evening. You were scrolling through your phone, and I was sitting right there next to you, waiting for you to look up just once. You didn't. And I remember thinking, how did we get here? When did my presence start feeling like background noise to you? That night, that small moment, was louder than any argument we ever had because it said something we never talked about. We were drifting. And maybe that's why it felt so easy for someone else to step into that silence. Because when love goes quiet, attention starts to sound like affection. But I need you to hear this part clearly. I never wanted them. I just wanted you to notice I was fading. They were just a reminder, a wake-up call, a mirror showing me everything we stopped doing for each other. And I won't lie, for a second, it made me wonder if I was still lovable, still enough, still someone you'd fight for, even when I stopped asking for it out loud. But here's what I knew deep down the whole time. Nobody can love me like you do, when you actually try, when you're present, when you see me, when we stop going through the motions, and actually connect. That's what I miss. Not just the relationship, but us, the real us, the version that laughed in the middle of serious talks, the version that made each other feel safe, even on our worst days. So I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad. I'm telling you because I still believe in us. But baby, I can't be the only one reaching across the gap anymore. You know what I've learned through all of this? Attention can be sweet, but it's not the same as connection. That other person, they made me feel seen. Yes, they noticed when you didn't. They asked when you stopped asking. But it still wasn't enough, because they weren't you. They didn't know the history behind my silence. They didn't know how I overthink, even the smallest things. They didn't know the way I get quiet when I care too much. They only saw the surface. But you, baby, you've seen the deepest parts of me. And even when you forgot to show it sometimes, I still knew you loved me. I just stopped feeling it. That's where the distance came from. Not from a lack of love, but from love left unspoken, untouched, unprotected. So now I'm asking you, honestly, do you still want this? Do you still want us? Because I do. I want the version of us that doesn't just survive. I want the one that feels. I want the one that checks in. The one that chooses each other every single day. Not just when it's convenient. I didn't come to you with a perfect heart, but I gave you every real part of it. And even after everything, even after someone else tried to take your place, I still choose you. But baby, if we're going to keep this going, you can't just stand still while I fight for us alone. Come back to me, fully, gently, willingly, or tell me now if I'm loving someone who's already gone. I almost didn't tell you. I thought about just keeping it to myself, letting time pass, pretending like nothing happened. Because technically, nothing did. I didn't cross a line, but emotionally, I felt the pull. And that's what scared me. It made me realize how close we are to losing everything when we stop watering what we've planted. You and I, we built something from the ground up. Something real. But real doesn't mean unbreakable. Real love still needs effort, still needs presence, still needs attention. And when those things go missing, it creates a crack, and that crack becomes a door if we're not careful. That's why I'm telling you all this now. Not because I want to hurt you, but because I'd rather speak the uncomfortable truth than carry a quiet resentment. This isn't about that other person anymore. They were just a symptom. The real issue is what we stopped doing for each other. We stopped asking. We stopped listening. We started assuming love would just stay. But love doesn't stay without intention. It fades when it's ignored. So, baby, this is me being honest before it's too late. I need more. Not more than you, more from you. I need your time. I need your voice. I need your warmth. Not just when it's easy, but when life is loud and pulling us in every direction, because someone else tried to take your place. And for a second I almost let them, not because I wanted to lose you, but because I didn't know if you still saw me. You know what I kept thinking about? All the times I sat in front of you, right across the table, waiting for you to look up from your phone and see me. Not just see my face, but really see the weight I was carrying. The quiet way I was slipping, hoping you'd notice before it turned into distance. And when you didn't, I didn't get angry. I just got tired. That kind of tired you don't even notice at first. It creeps in slowly, replacing the butterflies with silence, the late night talks with one-word replies. And that's when they showed up. They noticed the very things I used to beg you to see. They didn't even have to try hard, because I was already wide open with emptiness, just trying to feel something again. But here's what kept me grounded. Every time I started laughing with them, every time I felt even a moment of peace, I saw your face flash through my mind. Your laugh, your sleepy voice on the phone, the way you used to pull me in without words, the version of us that I miss, like a heartbeat. And that's how I knew, even when someone else filled the space, they couldn't fill the meaning, because they weren't built from the memories we made. They didn't know how I like my coffee. They didn't know my late night thoughts. They didn't know how to read my silence like you used to. They were just present, but they weren't home. So baby, this isn't a warning. It's not a guilt trip. It's a chance for us to come back, not to where we were, but to something even better.